Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akhenakwalt out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. Not necessarily sure what this one's titled right off the bat, but it's dealing with this whole new thing that's being brought to light. This is from the cryptocurrency Reddit. All right, popped up on Popular under politics. It says Musk has confirmed he wants to put the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain. Okay, so it's long. It's probably just going to be titled Musk wants the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain, in parentheses M.O.T.B, something along those lines, right? And yeah, so that's exactly where this is going into, as you know, talking about the mark of the beast and you know these little plans, all right, that these guys got going in the background. Now it says this needs to stop now. Elon Musk confirms radical Doge U.S. Treasury plan. It says Elon Musk has become deeply embedded in the U.S. President Donald Trump's White House after declaring a U.S. financial emergency while on the campaign trail. It says Musk, the Tesla billionaire turned government cost cutter, is leading the so-called Doge Department of Government Efficiency. All right, Department of Government Efficiency, like a meme. All right, and if you look up Doge, it's just an old meme. All right, and this guy's just out of touch. All right, he's just very out of touch, and everything's a fucking meme with him. All right, this is the type of guy. All right, that he that thinks this is the type of stuff that goes in government. This is the type of guy right here, right? Thinks that these type of memes belong in government. Just ridiculous. All right, ridiculous. So let's go back. It says, proposed by Trump's Commerce Department nominee Howard Lutnick, so very close to lunatic, really. It says to rip the waste out of our $8.5 trillion budget. Now, as fears emerge, Trump's administration is dangerously undermining the U.S. dollar. Musk has confirmed he wants to put the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain, the technology that underpins Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, including Musk's pet project, Dogecoin. There you go. So he wants to put the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain, all right? And mind you, that is the same, like it says, the same technology, all right, that's running Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies. And basically just really, you know, work towards getting a CBDC, all right? Because that's what they're going for, is those central bank digital currencies. And now it's out in your face, all right? So, as a matter of fact, I'll probably just save this image. I'll roll with that one for the thing. It says, career Treasury officials are breaking the law every hour of every day by approving payments that are fraudulent or do not match the funding laws passed by Congress, Musk posted to X, referencing part of the United States Code which outlines how some government payments are approved. This needs to stop now. Replying to ex-influencer Mario Nafal, who asked, should the Treasury be put on a blockchain so this doesn't happen? Musk replied, yes. Earlier, the New York Times reported Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent handed Doge Department officials access to the payment system, which sends out money to the tune of $5 trillion per year on behalf of the entire federal government on Friday, citing anonymous sources. Last week, Musk held discussions about using the blockchain technology to save money. It was reported by Bloomberg, citing anonymous sources. Unnamed people close to Musk told the financial newsletter that there's been talk of using blockchain to track federal spending, secure data, and make payments and manage buildings. It's unclear if Musk's plan on using an existing blockchain, such as Bitcoins, Ethereums, Dogecoins, or one of thousands of smaller blockchains which have their own cryptocurrencies, or if he would rather create a new purpose-built blockchain. Following Musk's takeover of Twitter, which he then named X, Musk also debated adding blockchain technology to the platform before ditching the idea. Text messages between Musk and his brother Kimball revealed in 2022. And you can go on and go on. I'm actually just piece through here, see if there's anything that mentions anything of a CBDC. It doesn't look too much, but yeah, man. It says Trump's crypto and artificial intelligence czar venture capitalist David Sachs will chair the group, with Sachs, an early investor of the Ethereum rival cryptocurrency Solana, praised by Trump, who later told Fox Business Trump's actions showed he is following through on his promise to make U.S. the crypto capital of the world, something Trump also told the World Economic Forum attendees in Davos. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, man. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're just out in the open with it now, and they've been out with the open for a while. But I was curious, and I actually went to ChatGPT to ask it a question. The question I asked was, what is a blockchain, and what would putting the U.S. Treasury on it do? Would this be related to, should have been to a CBDC, a central bank digital currency? And I'm going to read its response. It says, a blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger. Okay. Now you're saying decentralized, you're just talking about a centralized CBDC, a central bank digital currency. No, it's decentralized. We're still talking about the central banks. Okay. It says digital ledger that records transactions across multiple computers in a secure and tamper-proof way. It operates on a consensus mechanism, like proof of work or proof of stake, to verify transactions without a central authority. This makes it transparent, resistant to fraud, and nearly impossible to alter past records. Now, when you're looking at a blockchain like this, all right, and you think about what could go on with central bank digital currency and CBDCs, you're thinking about, oh, with government transparency, this could be great, but you're also not realizing it's going to be transparent if you're on a blockchain type program, a CBDC with central bank digital currency, that all your transactions are going to be transparent and made not necessarily public, but public to the government, all right? So the government's going to be able to see what you're buying, how much you're buying of it, this, that, and that, to a more consistent level than they're doing even able to now, because they can do it to an extent now, but it's going to be way more accurate, all right, once they get it on a blockchain. It says, what would putting the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain do? If the U.S. Treasury were to operate on a blockchain, it would mean several things, depending on how it's implemented. Transparent and auditable transactions. Every dollar issued, spent, or transferred would be publicly recorded, making government spending more accountable. Reduce fraud and corruption. With blockchains, immutability, financial fraud and unauthorized money creation would become more difficult. Faster and more efficient transactions. It says, smart contracts could automate processes like bond, insurance, payments, and settlements without intermediaries. Programmable money. If digital dollars were issued on a blockchain, they could be programmed with specific rules like expiration dates or spending restrictions. Now, that sounds like it could be good for the government. Remember, these things are going to be passed down onto us as well. Potential loss of privacy. If done wrong, it could mean that government surveillance on all financial transactions, and every movement of money would be traceable. So, look at that. Interesting. Is this related to CBDC? Yes. A blockchain-based U.S. Treasury system would likely be tied to a CBDC. A CBDC is a digital version of a country's fiat currency issued and controlled by the central bank. It could replace or supplement paper money. In this case, it would replace. It says making transactions instant and reducing reliance on commercial banks. If the U.S. were to launch a CBDC or on a blockchain, it could mean direct Fed-issued digital dollars, possibly eliminating commercial banks as a middleman, which means you do something that they don't like, no money. All right, which means you don't get that chip, no cash for you, and we're gonna get that in just a moment. Full tracking of all transactions, raising privacy concerns. The ability for the government to impose direct monetary policy, like negative interest rates or stimulus payments with spending limits. Bottom line, putting the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain could improve transparency and efficiency, but also brings risks of financial surveillance and government control over money. If combined with a CBDC, it could completely reshape the financial system, either for the better or worse, depending on how it's implemented. Say a tyrant did this. What are the really bad things that could happen. And say they wanted a new world order. All right. If a tyrant put the U.S. Treasury on a blockchain and tied it to a CBDC, they could wield unprecedented power over money and, by extension, society. Here's how it could go very bad in a New World Order scenario. Total financial surveillance. Every transaction would be recorded, eliminating cash and financial privacy. The government could see exactly what you buy, where you go, and who you interact with financially. No more anonymous purchases. Every cent that you spend would be tracked. Ability to freeze or confiscate funds instantly. Unlike today's banking system where authorities need legal process to freeze assets, a CBDC could be programmed to automatically shut off your access if you disobey the regime. If you protest, criticize government, or don't follow social rules, your money could be instantly disabled. Imagine a social credit system where bad behavior means no access to your own funds. Programmable money with expiration and spending controls. The government could issue stimulus money that expires if not spent in time, forcing people to consume instead of save. They could restrict what you're allowed to buy. No spending on undesirable goods like meat, travel, certain books, donations to political causes that they don't like. Wealth redistribution could happen instantly, automatically taking money from certain groups and giving it to the others. Forced taxation and negative interest rates. No more tax loopholes or hidden wealth. Taxes could be auto-deducted from your account in real time. They could impose negative interest rates, meaning your savings would shrink unless you spend them, forcing constant economic activity under government control. UBI, Universal Basic Income, could be forced upon people, replacing traditional jobs and making citizens permanently dependent on the state. All right. Capital controls and movement restrictions. If the CBDC replaces cash and traditional banks, you can't withdraw money and store it elsewhere. Cross-border transactions could be blocked. You won't be able to escape by moving your wealth abroad. Travel restrictions could be enforced by disabling your ability to buy plane tickets, gas, or even pay for hotels. And I gotta stop. I gotta go stop. We gotta go and get it. We gotta go and get gotta get a couple scriptures. So let's go and get Revelation 13 and 16 first, because that's the big one, the mark of the beast, right? What does this sound like? What does all this, what we're talking about, sound like? Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Let's get this term mark. What does mark mean? Okay, because you got a lot of dummies out there that are saying it's a spiritual mark, and it's not. All right, it's not. The mark of election is a spiritual mark. This is a physical one. It goes back to the word charagma. All right.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
All right. So charagma. All right, which comes from the word karax. Okay. So charagma means a stamp, an imprinted mark, imprinted, something physical, right? It says the mark branded upon horses, like a brand, right? The thing carved, sculpture, graven work. All right, it's carved. It's in the skin, and what it's referring to, and we're just gonna get in just a minute. Let's get karax. Karax is talking about a pail, a stake, or a palisade. We're gonna come back to that. Now, what does it say in the next verse? It says, and he causeth all, let's read it again, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So there you go, and Esau loves that number. It's their favorite number. So no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So unless you have that mark, okay, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. Now, what this is really referring to is the RFID chip, all right, an RFID implant, okay? And that's where we're moving towards with this thing, all right? And it goes in your hand, all right, and you can buy and sell with it. Yes, absolutely you can. We've seen videos on it. We've showed videos on it, all right? And this is how they're implanted. All right, you see this little thing? Now, if you look what if you go back to Karoks, it says a pale, a stake, or a palisade. Now, what is a stake? All right, a stake. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Now look at a palisade. Just talking about the fencing, all right? You see it? All right? All spiked up. And then you look at it again. Go back specifically to the stake is when you see a stake, especially with something like this. There you go, man. So yeah, man. So yeah, there you go. And the only other time, I believe, not the only other time, but yeah, so you see right here in Acts 17 and 29, it says, or stone graven, and then it has that word charagma. So it is something graven, okay? Graven. Let's see, what else? Other than Revelation, it's just that one. Yeah, and all the other occurrences are talking about the mark of the beast. So, there you go, man. So, that's coming. That RFID implant is coming, okay? And another scripture going off of what we just got, talking about travel restrictions, all right? It says, travel restrictions could be enforced by disabling your ability to buy plane tickets, gas, or even pay for hotels. And you can go over here in 2 Esdras 15 and 17, and it says, and a man shall desire to go in a city and shall not be able, okay? You shall not be able. And why? All right, because you just won't be able to go, all right, for one reason or another. No gas, they won't travel restrictions, this or that, right? You won't be able to go where you're wanting to go, all right? It's going to be complete control. Now let's continue on. And we know about these things, all right? Let's go and get this. This is, we got a couple. Ecclesiasticus, all right. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And he's just out with it, man. Just out with it, out in the open, all right? And, you know, this is like the first time at least I've seen of pretty much of a full admittal, all right? That a full admittance, all right, whichever one of those words is correct, that, you know, he wants to get this thing on a blockchain, and, you know, and a blockchain was more than likely going to be paired with a CBDC, okay? So this could be it, man. This could be the one. Who knows? You know, I always thought the name was going to be something like very totalitarian and repressive, like digital dollar. It might just be called fucking DigiDoge or something fucking retarded, all right? Because it's hilarious, because when you look at like fascist regimes and dictators and complete power controls and new world orders, in like the movies and the video games, they look crazy. You think of something like here, let's go and get Wolfenstein, the New Order, right? You think of like something like this, right? You think if you see some people marching through the street like that, all right, and you know, marching through the street, you know, mechs and shit. All right, and they'll probably they do have mechs, just not, you know, on that level yet, but they do have ones that look like the ones from what do you call it, Terminator, okay? But that's what you picture, all right? You picture like the guys in the suits. You picture things like this, all right? You don't picture this, okay? This is not something you picture, all right? But it's funny, because this is how it really is. You know, that really, at the end of the day, all those other things are just power fantasies. They're really like little children, little stupid children. The Edomites are dumb, all right? They're base men, all right? We can go and get that. This is Job 30:8. It says, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth, all right? And that's exactly who they are. And you can read in verse 5, it says, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. And we can trace that back to, you know, the Caucasoids, all right, the Caucasians, all right, is they don't like to be called now. They'd rather be called white people or Europeans, because Caucasian links them directly back to the Caucasus Mountains, which link them back to being a cave dweller, which then you can go and look at their modern architecture and look at things like Mount Sayre, all right, and you can see exactly who these devils are just by looking at Mount Sayre, all right, because look at that. And then you look at you can go and look at Greek architecture, Roman architecture, okay, Greek architecture, all right, and then now it's like the evolution, man, right? It's like the evolution. Really, right? It's like the little evolution that they've done. So you see it. It's the same thing. As a matter of fact, you keep looking, you can see, you know, very similar type balcony styles of that. I mean, this looks fucking almost indistinguishable. So that's what it is. And then if you look at like Roman coins, right? Same thing, all right? Because they're the same people, all right? Again, if you followed yesterday's lesson, nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. And then, you know, they worshipped Sol Invictus. Okay. And then, of course, here we have Statue of Liberty. All right, you see how it's all the same shit. All right, they think they're slick. It's all the same thing. They're the same people. They've always been the same people, right? 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're on to you, man. We know. Ecclesiasticus 5:15, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. There you go. So when you see these things, you should know. You should just know. So let's get algorithmic and AI-driven economic control. It says AI could determine how much money you get based on your behavior, health, compliance with mandates, and political views. If you have a bad social score, your money could be throttled or eliminated. The government could prioritize spending on certain green or woke policies while restricting harmful policies or industries. Elimination of alternative currencies and black markets. Cryptocurrencies and gold could be banned or strictly regulated, forcing everyone into the government system. Hey, there you go. This must be learning from brothers' videos, because the apostles always talk about this of Great Millstone. They always talk about you know, how all those other cryptocurrencies are going to go away. All right, it's going to be merged into one big one. They're going to go away, or not necessarily merged, but it's going to be replaced. Smart contracts could be used to block non-government approved businesses from receiving payments, killing the free market. Bartering could be illegal or impossible without state-controlled digital verification. Endgame, totalitarian financial control. If a tyrant controlled the system, they wouldn't need guns or police to enforce obedience. They could just shut off your access to money. No need for prisons when they can make you a financial prisoner. This would be a nightmare scenario where the government would dictate what you can buy, where you can go, how much you can save, who you can support, whether you can even participate in the economy. This would be the ultimate tool. The ultimate tool. It admits it would be the ultimate tool. This would be the ultimate tool for global control, a financial dictatorship disguised as a modernized, efficient monetary system. This is why some people oppose CBDCs and advocate for decentralized money like Bitcoin, which government can't control the same way. So there you go. That's what it's leading up to, man. That's what it's leading up to. And you know, they're pretty much out with it. They're pretty much out with it at this point, you know. And yeah. So and you know, of course they're in the backgrounds working these things. let's get some scriptures here, because we're pretty much done with it. Let's go ahead and get a few more, and then we'll close out. Let's get what do I want here? Let's see. Let's go open up my notes, and let's see here. I could, of course, get the one that's talking about the secret counsel of the wicked. I do get that one frequently, though. Let me see what we got here. Probably just get some ones about Esau, really. You know what? One that comes to mind instantly, actually. This is Psalms 55 and 21, because, you know, right now he's talking about how, you know, it could, you know, there's too much weird stuff going on in the government. If we put it on a blockchain, we can just work this all out, and we'll be able to see and have transparency and see that these things aren't being, there aren't fraudulent transactions, yada, yada, yada. Psalms 55 and 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. All right, and it seems as of lately, yeah, these tricks are actually the same tricks that Esau polls are working on the Edomites as well, and that's why they set up two different groups. They have the Republicans and the Democrats. All right, and you have one that is, you know, all about trying to get America back to its glory days, which will never happen, mind you. And then the other group is all about, you know, making things very progressive and paving the way for homosexuals and you know, alternative lifestyle groups, right? So that's where we're really at with it. I mean, if these devils, you know, we have both on both sides. When you have the Republicans, they want to establish, you know, things like totalitarian control and restore America to its greatness. And when you have the Democrats, you know, they're over here trying to, you know, if the Democrats were in control, you can see what's happening with the Republicans in control. When the Democrats are in control, they're trying to work you into a life where, you know, you can't even get with a girl that's 25 if you're 30, because then you'd be labeled as a pedophile. And meanwhile, the pedophiles no longer be called that. They'd be called MAPs. All right, and they would be decriminalized, but they would just be harshly scolded by society. All right, but you wouldn't go to jail. All right, because it's, after all, you can't help it. You can't help doing those things, right? And they'd probably have legalized forms of sex therapy for them, right? Just like the Democrats, you know, you go to a building, you get heroin injections. They'd probably have a place where you can go and look at little nasty images of children, all right, governmentally funded, all right, and then you can get your heroin while you're at it and go back in the street and do the fucking fentanyl slump, all right? That's how they would have it. So either way, the two sides of the extreme, none of those are great. Okay, none of those are good. They're two sides of an extreme. And one's, oh, Democrat, oh, Republican. Well, which one do you want it, man? Which one do you want it? Because they're both bad. All right, they're both bad. If you have the Democrats, inflation's going to be like fucking 3,000%. All your kids' teachers are going to be, you know, Batiman, all right, or Bati girl, all right, and they're gonna go and be teaching your kids this stuff. You're gonna have T-genders, all right, all over the place. 35,000 million genders to go with it. All right, you're gonna have open bathrooms. All right, no more gendered bathrooms. You're gonna have men on the bottom, women on the top. All right, a complete feminist control and rule. Women in rule, men on the bottom. All right, you're gonna have, you know, like I said before, you know, legalized drugs. All right, you're gonna have you know, these kiddly diddlers running the streets. All those different types of things. No more punishments. No severe punishments at all when it comes to certain things, and then more severe punishments when it comes to other things. You know, you can't even say the word F to the A to the G without going to jail, certain things like that. And meanwhile, the Republicans, you know, they will completely control you. All right, they will control how much you can work, how much money you get. All right, doing this and that. They will make it to where you can't go and do certain things that you were able to do anymore. All right, they'll get rid of all image of Jake. All right, they'll start race wars. All right, be out there in the open, and you know, with their type of rule, they'll have it where segregation is brought back to an extreme than it even was before. All right, all that Jim Crow stuff back. All right, and Jake on the bottom and them on the top even more so. Jake can't be able to get certain jobs even more so than they can now, and it just gets deeper and deeper. So either one is not good, all right, but they're gonna try to, you know, use that mouth of theirs, all right, to make it seem smoother, all right, because that's one of the blessings that they have, is that they can have that smooth talk, that double speak. right? But at the end of the day, man, there's always something, like it says, but the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. There, there's an ulterior motive at the bottom, all right, and to destroy you. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, all right? Yes, were they drawn swords. So, yet were they drawn swords. Like you. So, yeah, man, these devils are, they're out here in the open, man. They're doing some crazy things, and we're not ignorant of it, of course, through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And, they're working on getting this complete control. All right, that's what they're ultimately working towards. And don't believe what you see. All right, don't believe. There's an old metal song. All right, called "Propaganda" by a band called Sepultura. They're Brazilian. All right, now mind you, they're way heavier. They were like very heavy thrash metal to death metal. Jake usually don't get down with that type of music. You got Issachar and Gad do. All right, you got those Navajos, man. They jam down on that. I used to go to these metal concerts, these heavy concerts with growl, right? All that type of shit. And man, I tell you what, you see a lot of is Navajo. All right, those Navajo metalhead, right? Navajo metalhead. All right. You see these dudes, yeah, they show up at the concerts just like this, man. All right, what's going on, man? All right, and you're like, oh, not much, dude. He's like, you fucking ready? Dude, the natives, man, they're metalheads for sure. All right, and Issachar, well, Judah, not so much. All right, Judah, as soon as they start hearing screaming, and they're like, what the fuck is this, man? I ain't with this shit. But Issachar and Gad, man, they get down with that. But that lyric is, it says, basically, stopping freedom of speech, and then, because they're from Brazil, so Brazil, of course, very, very repressive government. But the lyrics are, why don't you get a life and grow up? Why don't you realize that you're fucked up? Why criticize what you don't understand? Why change my words? You're so afraid. It says, you think you have the right to put me down. Propaganda, hide your scum. Face to face, you don't have a word to say. You got in my way, and now you'll have to pay. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you read. All right, I'm going to play a little bit of it here. I'll show you. It's heavier than you'll expect, but I wanted to show you that part. Right here. Check this out. And I always think about that song, man. I always think about that song when you see all these things, because it's just, hey, don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you read. It's all propaganda. Don't believe it. All right. And if you look on those bands, it's always, if you always look in the comments, I'll go back over there. They usually say something along the lines of, now, even more, they'll be like, oh, this is super, super popular even now. This never gets old. Let's see, there's a, these are all old, but, right here, don't believe what you see, don't believe what you read. All right, but there's, usually newer comments be like, this is a very, let's see if this one has it. Let's see. Put my music back on. I don't jam out to this music too much, but every once in a while I'll play a song or so. But I don't like what it says, but they're talking. It says timeless, prophetic, and more contemporary than we'd hoped it'd be back when we were unscrewing our heads to this. It says prophetic for sure. And they're saying it's not prophetic. It was just as relevant when it came out as it is now. Right here you see, well, it was occurring back then in Brazil, where they're from, but absolutely propaganda is still in full force today, worldwide. So, there you go. You see people talking about it. Never has there been an album more relevant today. All right, and like it says, war, and that's what this album Chaos AD is all about, is just war and control. You have that song Resist, Refuse. Sepultura, how those lyrics go. Chaos AD, tanks on the street, conforming police, bleeding the plebs, raging crowd, burning cars, bloodshed starts, who'll be alive? Chaos AD, army and siege, total alarm, I'm sick of this. Inside the state, wars created, no man's land, what is this shit? Refuse, resist, refuse. Alright, there you go. Chaos AD, disorder unleashed, starting to burn, starting to lynch. Silence means death, stand on your feet, interfere, your worst enemy, refuse, resist. As far as the heavier shit goes, this is one of the only bands that I really jam out to anymore every once in a while. Of course, like, I'll listen to Metallica, but like heavy stuff, like almost like, as they would call, like almost death metal, this is one of the only ones I used to listen to, because it's not all about that evil, wicked shit, you know, killing and death and all weird satanic shit. This is all pretty much, it's like they're like a heavier version of Rage Against the Machine. All right, and there's another band that you can listen to that has a lot of, you know, talks about the type of shit that's going on these days. All right, is Rage Against the Machine, because they want complete control, complete order, and no, complete disorder, but order. You know, order ob chaos. All right, order ob chaos, which means order through chaos. That's one of their mottos, right? But yeah, man. And at the end of the day, let's get one more scripture. Just know the devil that's working against you. All right, this is where we're gonna cut off with. This is Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. So be wary, man. Don't trust this devil. Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you hear. All right. Don't believe what you read. All right. Don't. Okay. Because all that shit out there is just a bunch of propaganda, man. All right. Oh, we'll do it for good. It's just for this. It's, again, going back to that smooth talking, the words like butter. All right. But war was in his heart. Okay. Talking about, no, we're going to do it for good. No, you're not. No, it's not. One more scripture. Two more scriptures. Two more. Psalms 10 and 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. That means going like this. Pff, man, what you gonna do? Pff. All right, and finally, Ecclesiastes 14 and 7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. He's never gonna do anything willingly. If it is good, it was Yahweh Shemiah Shai that did it. Here it was, he was trying to create the ultra mega gamma death ray, all right, and he ended up just like blasting it off in the sky, and 10 people got cured from cancer because of it. All right, can't have that now. They didn't do that willingly. They thought it was going to be an ultra super gamma death ray, right? But Yahweh Shemiah Shai had other plans, and that happens sometimes. All right, they'll try to do something bad, but the Yahweh Shemiah Shai will flip the switch on them, and they'll end up doing something good. They're like, oh, what the hell? This is not how we wanted it to happen, right? Or he'll reveal them, like the whole thing with Kanye. So yeah, man, that's the Lord shooting at them with an arrow. Going back to that scripture talking about the secret counsel of the wicked, which these devils are. All right, the Illuminati, as they call them. They're all just, this is one of their plans. You think this is the first time it ever got brought up? Thinking about CBDCs and blockchain and crypto? No. This is just he's saying it out loud now. All right, they've been talking about that in the past for years. Okay, we're just hoping to see more and more information off of it, and eventually the establishment of the M.O.T.B. Why are we hoping for that, you say? Because we're looking for new heavens and a new earth. All right, let's go and get that one. Wherein dwelleth righteousness, because we're trying to get out of here. 2 Peter 3 and 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. We don't care about this place. We're not waiting around for it. We don't want any of it. We're looking, we're on to the next. All right, we're thinking about here. We might be on level 2, but we're thinking about level 3 right now. Okay, so we're not going to act like we're on level 2. We're going to act like we're going into level 3. Okay, which and to simplify that down is rehearsing the righteous acts and getting ourselves ready for level 3. Okay, we're not at level 2 anymore. All right, it's like at a video game. If you're a level 50 character, you don't want to be using a level 20 weapon. Okay, you wanna get that upgrade, and we're looking for that upgrade because we're ready to go on to the next level. All right, which is Yahweh Shem Shai's kingdom, and this place is gonna go up in smoke. All right, and yeah, man, these devils think they're gonna somehow preserve it. Not the case. So that's the lesson. Lord, what was edifying. I know it got a little rambly towards the end, so like you for that. We're going to go ahead and close out. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to your brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.